Okay, if you're running a home service business and you've ever considered using Jobber, this video might save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars this year. I've used multiple CRMs over the years to run my business, and I've tried Jobber. I liked the interface, I liked how it had scheduling, quoting, client tracking, everything in one place, and it sounded like it aligned with what I needed. But somewhere along the line, the pricing started to feel off. I began to notice my costs start creeping up, especially as I tried to grow. And that's not a headline, it's a reality. And a lot of other small business owners have told me similar stories. So today, I'm going to share my personal reasons why I felt Jobber's pricing structure was actually hurting my business and why other softwares might be a better fit for your business. So here's how this is going to go down. First, I'm going to break down how Jobber's pricing sliders makes their service look deceptively cheap. It leads with the $39 a month discount rate for the first 3 months and then defaults to annual pricing. You're going to learn why that model may cost you extra, especially if you're a seasonal business or only work parts of the year. Next, we're going to dive into the hidden user cost trap and discover how adding just one team member or helper forces you into a whole other, more expensive tier, and then suddenly your CRM bill goes from reasonable to ridiculous. I've been there and it did more than just sting, it stopped me from growing profitably. And then to wrap it all up, I'm going to walk you through what they don't tell you up front, and that's the need for pricey add-ons. From add-on fees like the $800 responsive setup fee to the other third-party integrations that quietly balloon your total cost. And then finally, we're going to provide solutions with softwares that require no additional add-ons and come built in with everything when you pay for it up front. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 issues that made me switch away from Jobber to another CRM, and why having a platform with clear pricing, no extra fees, and all the tools built in makes more sense for my business and hopefully yours too. So let's get into it. And reason number 1 is sneaky, deceptive pricing. When I first went to Jobber's pricing page, I thought, sweet, $29 a month, that's totally doable. The layout looked clean, the numbers made sense at a glance, and I assumed the cost was predictable and transparent. But then I hit the billing toggle, or rather it toggled itself. Almost instantly, the page shifted to its annual pricing, showing me that the $29 a month was the price you'd be paying for monthly if you purchased the annual deal. The site highlighted that small, low numbers so prominently that most people wouldn't even notice until you're ready to purchase. What it looked like on the surface versus what was actually happening couldn't have been more different. See, the default option is annual billing, and that shifts your mindset. Now they're not really charging you $39 monthly, they're charging you over $1,200 up front. And if you're like me and you pause services in months 8 through 12, as seasonal businesses often do, then you've already paid for months that you're not even operating. So that disconnect sent my business into a tailspin. And this isn't theoretical. The pricing design uses what sales experts call a disguised anchoring tactic, which means that they lead with the discounted number and hiding the commitment language. This deceptive style makes a service look cheap until the bill actually lands in your inbox. And I'm not alone in thinking this. Business owners constantly complain that the Jobber slider defaults to annual pricing, making the monthly rate seem artificially low until it's too late. In contrast, the alternative software that I found to be more superior to Jobber in terms of pricing and also feature-wise is QuoteIQ. And QuoteIQ's pricing is refreshingly transparent. What price you see is what you pay. There's no slide toggle hiding huge upfront commitments. There's no first 3 months free discounts clouding your expectations. You choose monthly or annual if you want to save, but there's no manipulation. It's clean, it's honest, and it's built to align with real service business operations, not VC sales tactics. And then there's QuoteIQ's one-of-a-kind lifetime plan, which, I mean, who offers that? One-time payment, no monthly bill ever again. That kind of pricing structure simply doesn't exist anywhere else in the home service industry CRM space. So when I felt misled by Jobber because the small fine print wasn't small enough to get noticed, I began looking for an alternative. And QuoteIQ's honesty, flexibility, and lack of hidden slider tricks made it a clear choice. So yes, this one section alone may have just saved you hundreds of dollars per month in headaches. But on to reason number 2, and that's how growing my business with Jobber felt like a financial trap. When I first signed up for Jobber's core plan, the advertised rate, which was about $39 a month, seemed reasonable for a solo operator. At the beginning, I handled almost everything alone. Quoting, invoicing, scheduling, and texting clients. Things were manageable until I decided it was time to bring on an employee to help me out for a few days a week. The moment I added just a single helper, I was automatically bumped up to Jobber's team tier, and my monthly subscription jumped to around $119 a month. That was an adjustment, it was a 300% increase, triggered by what should have been a small step in growing my business. And if I hired more people, that would have pushed me into another tier at roughly $245 a month. And that's the downside of Jobber's pricing design. Its pricing model is deeply tied to its user count and each additional user, no matter how minimal their access or contribution is. It's going to force you into a significantly higher tier. So the helper who just needs a little bit of access, or someone who logs in only to check schedules, ends up costing as much as a fully licensed user. It breaks a basic rule. Growth should lower risk. not spike your cost. This pricing structure isn't hypothetical. I've read countless online reviews and community comments where users were blindsided by price jumps and tier changes. One review bluntly said that small changes like adding just another user turned Jobber from an affordable to an unmanageable, expensive software overnight. Contrast to this is QuoteIQ's approach. Their tiers are fixed, transparent, and generous. The first tier, which is their beginner plan, supports one single user. Their pro plan goes up to 3, and then there's the elite plan, which comes with 7 users and gives you access to every single feature. And if you need more users, you can contact their sales team for their enterprise deal. But that means whether you're solo or you're suddenly deciding to bring on 5 helpers or an office coordinator, the price remains consistent. There's no surprise tier jumps, no bait and switch. That predictability allowed me the freedom to hire help, take larger jobs, and delegate tasks without sweating the budget. So in a world where every dollar matters, especially for small business owners, knowing that adding help doesn't break the bank is really big. So here's why that shift to QuoteIQ was a huge turning point for me and my business. QuoteIQ removed the mental block of planning. When Jobber gave me that unexpected invoice surge just because I added a helper, it broke trust. QuoteIQ's structure meant I could finally hire smart, plan ahead, and scale without sacrificing cash flow. I wasn't talking about scaling to 50 employees or opening new locations. I was simply building my business one reliable job at a time. With QuoteIQ, I didn't feel penalized for progress, but with Jobber, I did. So here's the bottom line. If you've ever thought, is it worth hiring someone, but then hesitated because your CRM bill might double, then it's probably time to switch away from that software. Softwares like Jobber penalize your growth. Every user you add hurts your bottom line. But with softwares like QuoteIQ, it embraces your growth and offers clarity and control. This one pricing structure difference might be enough of a reason to reconsider your CRM entirely. But to get this video wrapped up, the last and final reason is Jobber's costly add-ons and hidden integrations. So when you get started with Jobber, you're going to think that you get a fully capable platform, tools for quoting, scheduling, invoicing, all in one place. But as you start to use it, you're going to discover that there's many essential features that aren't actually included. Instead, they come out as separate tools that you have to buy or pay a monthly subscription for, and those add-ons can add up quickly. For instance, Jobber doesn't include an advanced quoting or property measurement tools natively. If I wanted to give my customers the ability to self-quote jobs, with Jobber, that requires an integration with Responsibid, which is a separate software that costs a few $100s per year, and that's not including the initial $800 setup fee for that first month. And then Responsibid pulls a similar tactic, requiring integration with QuoteIQ to have scheduling functionality respond to their basic calendar. It's insane. So to get the same function as, say, a feature like InstaQuote that comes included with QuoteIQ's elite tier, you're going to be forced to purchase Responsibid, which is anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 per year in subscriptions. And then the add-on for the add-on, which is QuoteIQ, which is another few $100s per year down the drain on top of your Jobber subscription. And that's just for one integration. It might not sound like a lot at first, but as it adds up, your affordable Jobber subscription suddenly looks more like an enterprise software. But on top of that, you're likely going to subscribe to integrations like QuickBooks, Zapier, and marketing tools like MailChimp or NiceJob, all bills tacked on to keep your business running day to day. Users regularly report in forums and Reddit threads that their Jobber bill easily triples once you start adding on tools needed to match QuoteIQ's built-in capabilities. So by the time you round up all of those add-ons and integrations, the real cost of Jobber starts to be around $700 to $800 per month just to get the same features that QuoteIQ offers in their elite tier for $188 per month. And ultimately, yes, that's why I chose QuoteIQ over Jobber, including tools like InstaQuote, InstaSchedule, client messaging, property measurements, built-in before and after pictures, inspection forms, and so much more, all natively built in, not requiring me to go bolt in third-party subscriptions, was so big for my business. It wasn't just cheaper, it was also simpler. I didn't have to juggle multiple subscriptions or install connections between third-party apps. Everything I needed worked in one platform in one place right on my phone. And yes, it was a fraction of the cost that Jobber ended up being. So for small business operators like me, clarity and predictability mattered more than fancy features you don't really need. Knowing that every tool I need is included without extra fees felt like a relief and fundamentally changed how I viewed CRM platforms altogether. So the bottom line is Jobber might look more affordable on paper, but to get all the features most service businesses actually need, you're going to buy multiple add-ons and integrations, and that drives costs so high that you could easily pay up to $800 to even $1,000 a month just to match the same functionality that QuoteIQ gives you for $188. So QuoteIQ's model avoids unnecessary pain. It delivers everything your business needs in one clean, predictable package. There's no surprises, no billing shocks, and no constant upsells. So yeah, to wrap this video up, here's my conclusion and the reason why I walked away from Jobber. After spending months wrestling with Jobber's pricing models, it became clear that it wasn't just about paying for the software. It was about how their pricing was tied to growth in a way that penalized it. First is Jobber's creeping add-on cost and third-party integrations was quietly pushing the total cost up to $800 a month, and I was going to be getting the same features and functionality for a quarter of the cost with QuoteIQ. For me, the decision wasn't hard at all. Secondly, though, their user-based pricing structure meant that adding any help whatsoever, even a part-time helper, triggered unplanned tier jumps. One helper turned my $39 a month plan into $119 a month. And if you add more and more, those pricing tiers continue to jump and get more and more expensive. So I felt like I was being penalized for trying to grow my business, which is ultimately the goal of every single one of your businesses, hopefully. And finally, many of the tools I actually needed, like online quoting, customer self-scheduling, property measurement, automated follow-ups, inspection forms, review generation, all weren't included unless I paid even more. So the fool stacked up really quickly with way more financial friction than was justified. And that's why the alternative to Jobber won me over. And that's why I think QuoteIQ is best for you. QuoteIQ's pricing is clean, transparent, and built for real world work. Their top plan, which includes every single feature, is only $188.99 a month. And that includes customer self-quoting, customer self-scheduling, map measurement, job documentation, client messaging, and employee management, all without separate apps or integrations. Their user limits are clear and scalable. You get up to 7 users on their top plan without surprise bumps unless you exceed that boundary. You can grow your team gradually without growing your bill at the same time. The tools you get are built by service business owners who have used this tech in the field. There's no guesswork. There's no chasing capabilities through multiple logins. There's no hidden pricing traps. The platform feels like it was designed for how you actually work, not for how some corporate roadmap dictates it. So this isn't about trashing Jobber. It works. It's a reliable, pretty good software. But for someone like me, a hands-on owner, balancing costs, growing slowly, wanting predictability, it started to feel like a system that charged me more for every step forward. So where Jobber imposed cost on growth and built features through pricey integrations, QuoteIQ bundled everything together into one plan with one flat rate. So if you're watching this and thinking, I'm even considering hiring someone tomorrow, but how much extra will that cost me? That's exactly when you should pause and run the real numbers. If the tool initially seems cheap, that free or discounted tier can cost you later on. QuoteIQ doesn't trap you, QuoteIQ supports it. That's the big difference here. And that's why I made the switch. If you're curious and you want to test it out, I've linked QuoteIQ below. You can get started for free and get full access to the elite tier. Give it a spin and compare it to other CRMs. And also let me know in the comments, what's been the most frustrating part of your CRM journey? Was it pricing, team growth, add-ons? Feedback helps me keep making videos for you guys. So thank you for watching. If this helped you out at all, please let me know down below. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.